Diamond's currently choking.
I sure am.
Whoa! Welcome back. Wow. This is so beautifully strange.
I can't believe we made it. I barely made it.
It's been 10 years and we are still smoking weed. When did you start smoking weed, Diamond?
What was it? 2016, 15, okay. Whatever that was.
Word, when Trump became president.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago.
That makes sense. And Rant that was 2016, ironically enough, was our last episode, and we were talking about one of the last episodes, if not the last episode, was Roman Reigns winning his first Universal Championship on Monday Night Raw, and we were jacked up. Mm-hmm. And then shit has happened since then.
Wow.
Diamond, Holland.
I mean, if we're just talking with Roman Reigns, then yes, the whole spectrum is happening.
Where do we start? I had a list of shit, but
I can tell you what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I was watching all the way through about mid 2017. I can tell you exactly what week I started quitting on WWE. It was Braun Strowman after he just got attacked by the Shield reunion. and this was the Braun Strowman that was handling 2v1s and 3v1s every week.
Jesus Christ!
And then he immediately came out the very next week with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
I forgot about that.
Yep, and that's exactly when I dropped WWE. I stopped watching weekly after that, and about 6 months afterwards, I dropped them off altogether because I was just that upset creatively with the product. And I didn't watch 2018. I skipped 2019. Thank God, apparently, because that was apparently the worst year of Vince McMahon. 2020, I was only watching AEW. 2021, I was only watching AEW. I got back right around when Brock and Roman were doing their thing at WrestleMania, because that was the only thing I was interested at that WrestleMania. And then I started watching weekly when CM Punk came back. So for those 6 months, what was it, November 23 to April 24, I was thoroughly enthralled with WWE. And then for this last year and a half, it's been downhill ever since, you ask me. But we can touch on that later. What you been doing for these last 10 years?
Oh my God, 10 years. Oh my God, I was in college in 2016. Losing my mind, being scared of the real world. Mm-hmm. I was smoking way before 2016, for the record. Mm-hmm. As far as WWE, oh my God, I think that 2016 was probably the last year I started like religiously watching week after week. I know I was very happy about Roman Reigns winning the championship. I kind of forgot what happened in 2016 and 2017. Roman was on top. Who was the fate? Was Cena still wrestling? Like it was a while, but
Cena was still wrestling. 2016 was the start of the brand split.
There was a time, and I don't know when between 2016 and the pandemic era. I don't know when I stopped watching completely, but I know those last 4 years between 2016 and 2020 were dead water for me, and especially when the pandemic happened and there was no audiences. I know the WWE did everything they could to kind of recapture audiences, even though audiences were not allowed in the building. But when that happened and they started putting computers in the audience, I completely tuned out. And I get it, you got to do something, but they could have did the AEW model that I liked, where they just had other fellow wrestlers as audience members. I really fucked with that.
And they eventually did that.
But as far as the computers, I was like, nah. But we can just dive into that era actually, because I completely forgot.
Oh, that pandemic era.
We could just because we probably don't have the time.
If you want me to talk about AEW for 30 minutes, then yeah, I can.
We can talk about the pandemic era and just talk about because that pandemic era was really truly the beginning of the downfall of Vince McMahon and the rise of the storyline.
Downfall of Vince McMahon, I'd say,
was pandemic era, right?
It was probably 2019, to be quite honest with you. 2018, it was getting real bad then. But I'd say the downfall of Vince McMahon happened when the Janelle Grant lawsuit came out.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon was already moving out of the business during the pandemic era because he was getting ready to sell in 2020.
That was the rumor. Even before this investigation, the rumors that he was trying to And the rumors were, and I love saying rumors because we ain't got money out here.
Right.
Allegedly, rumor has it. I gotta do my due diligence and my research. But like I seen, the dirt sheet saying that Stephanie and Triple H were kind of campaigning to get Vince out of the top seat for a hot minute. But I was like, that's probably just hearsay. But that whole moment where, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that whole moment where it was like, I remember, I think you attended that show where
that SmackDown.
They officially booted Vince McMahon out, and did Stephanie lead a thank you Vince chant in Minneapolis? Did that actually happen?
No, that was the Monday Night Raw after. What happened on that SmackDown is that Vince himself came out. And he talked, and he didn't, and he...
in Minneapolis?
Yep.
Oh,
Vince
God.
himself came out.
Oh, God.
I remember he had the second biggest pop next to Brock Lesnar returning at the end of the night. I remember it vividly. I was the only one in my section that booed him. Everybody else cheered. I got drowned out. That wouldn't be the first time I got drowned out in the Target Center. It won't be the last. But I couldn't believe... It was just hours after the first rumor came out, and everybody was cheering like nothing even happened. If that doesn't tell you Twitter is such a small portion of the wrestling audience,
small portion.
It's I don't know what does.
And then maybe we can talk about.
I think a lot of people in wrestling don't even pay attention to Twitter. They just they're just like robots, man. Hey, 7 p.m. Let's go ahead and turn on Monday Night Raw. That's what I do every Monday. That's what I do every Friday. That's what I do every Tuesday.
Do you think perhaps that's why Triple H is booking the way he's booking? Because he's like, the Twitter space or whatever the fuck you call it is such a small sector of real life that I could give two dick fucks about.
Well, if
what
we want to talk
say.
what Triple H is doing from a week to week basis, it's much ado about nothing. Because Triple H has said it before. He's not really focused on these weekly shows. And it shows with the effort he's putting into these weekly shows. Triple H went on to Pat McAfee this week and didn't even know what the fuck happened on Raw.
I read about that. I didn't watch the video, but apparently they were talking about a segment. He was like, that happened.
That happened? I haven't been on Raw in the past couple of weeks.
Bro, that dude's thinking about $1 billion money.
I'm telling you. He do not like his job. There's no way. Because he shows up for it every PLE, and that's about every 2 or 3 weeks. That's really all he does. He don't be. I do not think he actually pays attention to SmackDown. I do not think he actually pays attention to NXT. There's no way he pays attention to Evolve. I think he's barely there for Raws, because Triple H. If I can not go on a tangent here,
I mean, do you?
But Triple H books so slowly that I have told casual fans that are trying to get into wrestling because of WrestleMania 40, because of what happened at Survivor Series with CM Punk, I tell them that there is absolutely no point in watching the weekly programs because nothing happens on the weekly programs. You get to the PLE. If you have no ads, they'll run a 2 to 3 minute video package informing you everything that you missed during the 2 or 3 weeks on Raw. And then they'll come out, they'll have a match. You'll actually get a finish. And then if it's a big event, like if they're booking around one of the 6 people that they book around, which we can get to that too a later podcast, but then something will happen at the PLE that you do not have to pay attention to the weekly shows to follow. You just gotta wait till the next PLE and it'll follow itself up.
You hit the nail on the hammer with that, Diamond, because I was kind of like both afraid and very excited for this Netflix era. Mm-hmm. I was extremely, extremely excited for the Netflix era because this is the first time wrestling went digital. Mm-hmm. I mean, aside from pay-per-views, this is the first time that it went digital and streaming. And I was begging for this because, the numbers have been showing that ever since the Attitude Era, eyes to TVs have been going down and down and down and down. No matter how wonderful the Ruthless Aggression era was that I came up under, because I wasn't really Attitude Era. I was Attitude Era adjacent, but I was like fucking 5,
right.
Fucking 4 and 5. But the Ruthless Aggression with Cena and then 02 onward was my time to come into. But even then, my parents and my grandparents were telling me that was not the most popular time in WWE. I thought Cena was really the greatest thing ever, but they're like, bro, you should have been around when Randy Savage was running shit. Yeah. But anyway, I say that to say, because of the dwindling popularity of wrestling, I was so excited for them to get so many brand new eyes on a Netflix, which is a global platform. It's not just exclusive to America. But the other side of why I was scared is because, well, look what we're seeing now. To your point, is that WWE is big money. WWE, same way like Becky Lynch is Big Beck Bunny, whatever, Big Beck Bunny.
Big time Becks.
Big time Becks. You know, it's about checks. So it's like WWE's on their big time Beck shit, where it's like it's just dollar signs. They are pricing us out of the tickets. I'm very scared of SummerSlam next year in Minneapolis.
Oh man.
I want to go so desperately because I've never been to a SummerSlam before, and I haven't been inside the U.S. Bank Stadium yet in terms of entertainment. Mm-hmm. So I'm very geeked for that, but I'm kind of scared of when those prices drop next year. What the fuck the business is.
They've already said they're gonna increase it. From what it is now, and what it is now is ridiculous.
And rumor has
I've heard for the B-level pay-per-views, a upper bowl top row seat is $500.
Jesus Christ.
$500 to sit in the top.
That's
seats.
nice.
$500 to sit where I was sitting at Full Gear. And at Full Gear, I was up to the very top of the second floor, bro. Very top.
It's really insane because, like, so, you know, I mean, I know the deal is ending, but, you know, in terms of John Cena's last match, you have to have Peacock. WWE has began its ESPN program early, ahead of January, so now every PLE thereafter...
Greedy bastards.
Not even thereafter. That's happening right now with WrestlePalooza starting it. You have to spend $30 on ESPN unless you have certain other subscriptions, and then if you have the combination, because Disney owns our lives now, of Hulu and Disney Plus, but you have to have some type of access to ESPN Plus in order to watch all PLEs now. You also have to have Netflix if you want to watch a weekly Monday Night Raw, and Netflix is increasing their prices on a quarterly basis.
Right.
And then outside of those three streaming platforms, you now have to compete with crazy, insane prices if WWE comes into your town. Mm-hmm. And then I'm probably missing out on other fucking bullshit, but it's like my question that I'm posing to you right now is WWE pricing out their fans, and if they are, which they are, so that's not really a good question, but if they are, what does that spell for the future? WWE is never gonna die. They just got a $10 billion deal from Netflix. They got I don't know how many other millions ESPN just spent on them for them to bring their platform over. Like, they're getting money out the ass, and some loyal fan just released that the first two rows of WrestleMania are pushing $70K.
$70,000 to sit front row.
Yeah, that's
for a WrestleMania you might not even like.
I don't think I even made that much money.
You might not even like WrestleMania.
Like, wait, what if it's one of those WrestleManias where, like, you remember WrestleMania where The Miz and Cena headline? Mm-hmm. Nigga, what if I spent $100K to see that? I would fucking cut my wrist right there. Sorry, y'all. Right in front of the camera. Like, you're like...
I mean, last year's Saturday WrestleMania was pretty offensive to me. And I would not want to pay $70K for that. Hell no. 41? Fuck no.
And speaking of WrestleMania week, it's a perfect segue to the beautiful announcement that we just got a few days ago. WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, for 43 is going to the big, beautiful, equal rights country of Saudi Arabia, where everybody is free, baby. Oh my God.
Who needs equal rights when you have money?
I mean, ain't that the fucking, like, tale of life right now?
Right, like,
who gives a fuck about human rights when there's money to be made, nigga? What are you talking about?
I mean, it's gotten to this point where a lot of people are like, you sold out, but this
is on brand.
It's on brand with what they've been doing. I mean, I think y'all should get ready to have Raws be international here in the next 2 or 3 years, because if you're talking about prices increasing, and they're basically kicking families out the window, because if you're paying like $70K just for one seat, you can imagine how 4 of them is gonna go. But they're the only people that are consistently paying these kinds of prices anymore are the international fans, and the international fans are eating it up because, again, they don't get to see Raw every week. They don't get to see a pay-per-view every month, but they are going to start doing so. So I would assume they have to step up their game in terms of creatively in order to keep these minds interested, because the law of diminishing returns is going to kick in real soon here. But it hasn't even begun to start yet, because we still have London to get a WrestleMania. I still think Puerto Rico is in line for
Man, I'd go. Fuck it.
I still,
the fuck are you talking about? I'd be in Puerto Rico quick for that shit.
I still think Ireland is in the row. And this is just outside the states that I'm spitting on. We're not even talking about inside the states where there's new fucking stadiums being built every fucking year.
Every fucking week.
Tennessee's getting a stadium. Atlanta, I think, is rebuilding their stadium. I know North Carolina's getting a stadium.
And North Carolina already got some beautiful stadiums as is.
Yeah.
As is. What was it? Like, and also the Saudi Arabia, rumor has it, they're paying... I saw a number saying $250 million. Because Las Vegas next year allegedly paid $50 million. The Las Vegas convention paid WWE $50 million to have WrestleMania again, and Saudi Arabia is paying $250 million for one WrestleMania. So on paper, it's already the most highest grossing WrestleMania of all time by a long motherfucking shot. Not to mention all the other things surrounding WrestleMania. But I also wonder, how is the culture of WrestleMania access and blah 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 blah. Like, it's gonna be, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. And apparently, they not only did they spend $250 million, but allegedly they want specificities in terms of the entertainment. They want The Rock versus Roman, and I'm like,
have you seen The Rock lately? He's dropped about like 80 pounds.
Yeah, he looks like a praying mantis.
Yeah, he tore his ACL practicing MMA. And that was before the 80-pound drop.
No, rumors has it that he will obviously be a board member of TKO because duh. But rumor has it that as far as the WWE side of him and relationship, that's done. And there's been a couple of alleged relationships this year that has happened that way. There was Travis Scott, there was The Rock. So it's so interesting how these guys revolve around each other and how John Cena turned face in the middle of the year, just so weirdly. And by the way, I got a fucking rant. I got a rant because fuck John Cena. I don't have.
We can talk about that.
I'm not gonna rant about John Cena's lazy heel turn and then lazy face turn.
It was lazy every which way to go.
I'm gonna let Diamond take care of that part.
I will.
There's one part of the other caveat of that I want to really touch on. That really like this. Oh, I just want to make sure that this is recorded correctly because I can't. I'm gonna do this one time. Yes, it is. I'm gonna do this one fucking time.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm 30 years old and I try really hard not to get bothered by shit. Like I really do. What I want to talk about is R-Truth.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about R-Truth.
Because I was so goddamn excited, and the one little tiny, because it relates to John Cena, that's why I'm gonna bring it back home. I was so excited for the Ron Killings era. I thought that WWE and creative had the chance, because if this was truly going to be R-Truth's last run and truly his last contract extension, I was like, okay, fine. He's pushing, 50 whatever. He's given everything he can to this business. He's a fucking former NWA champion, for God's sakes. Put some respect on his name, goddammit. So let's end this correctly. No more of the... I don't know if I can even say what I want to say on this podcast, but you know what? Fuck it. No more of the coon shit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No more.
Yeah, we about 18 minutes in. That won't pick it up.
I had to say that because it's been just tomfoolery and coon shit for 10 fucking years with WWE, and it's just. Yes, he is very hilarious. He is, but it's just been, this nigga is an actual performer and entertainer. He's a phenomenal fucking wrestler. But anyway, I digress. I was so excited for the segment and the promo that he cut right after he betrayed John Cena and cutting his hair and saying, "Oh, that R-Truth shit is done. You're going to deal with Ron Killings now." I was like, oh my God, the opportunity we have here for the last run for him to be this disgusting heel. I was hoping that because we're living in such a racist climate, y'all can't have me in the writing room because I will actually make y'all some money. We are living in whether you like it or not, we're living in Trump era. This is Trump world. I'm not gonna get too political, but we're living in Trump world. This was the perfect opportunity for Ron Killings as a black man to truly step into a villain era, because what is the one thing this country hates? A dark-skinned, thug-looking motherfucker like Ron Killings. I'm sorry, and WWE is going super MAGA all of a sudden. So I'm like, okay, let's put this black bitch on TV because y'all are going to hate him. And that would have been a perfect storm for a true, beautiful Ron Killings villain, a heel.
People have gotten on this platform and said Ron Killings should win the Royal Rumble. People actually was convinced enough by that promo alone to have him win the Royal Rumble. Mind you, R-Truth has been a jobber bona fide for at least 20 years.
Y'all can't have me in the writing room because I would have went further. We just had an assassination the other day. I would have had Ron Killings make fun of that.
Oh, wow.
Like, dude, y'all can't have me in the booth.
Yeah, they can't have you.
You can't have me. And y'all can't sit here and tell me that y'all on some PG era shit when did Paul Heyman get on Pat McAfee's show and say, get deported? Mm-hmm. Yep. Suck my dick. If it's all fair game for us to really get back into, and I get Paul Heyman, he's like, I really got to be a heel, right? Which I had a little, I kind of squirmed at that. I'm not gonna lie, because it's really happening to people in real time. So I kind of squirmed at that. I'm not gonna hold you. But if that's the candle, if that's the status that we're holding shit to, okay then. If we're gonna tell fans, brown WWE paying customers that they're gonna get deported, I'm gonna have this black son of a bitch make fun of Charlie Kirk.
Mind you, Paul Heyman said that to a fan that was literally reacting 24 hours after the fact that he turned on two of the biggest baby faces the product has.
Bro.
I could tell you, man, we could talk about a whole podcast about how the way WWE was acted all the way around WrestleMania 41. They did not want to be there. They wanted to get in, get out, and get their money. Paul Heyman, Triple H, that one comedian, I can't fucking remember his name, Hinchcliffe, that motherfucker. Everyone, soon as Sunday was over, wanted to get out of fucking Vegas fast until they saw that check clear.
WWE must be the most high-end paying prostitute of all time because they get in and get out, get their money. Mm-hmm. Yep. WWE is a hoe.
Until that hoe saw that check come in, and it was like, let's go right back. Fuck you, New Orleans. We going right back.
Bro, they did a whole announcement.
They did a whole announcement.
My nigga,
The Rock came out to Lil Wayne shit. I didn't even know it was Lil Wayne until a minute and a half in.
I hate this so much.
He said we going to New Orleans for WrestleMania 42. And nope, we are not going to New Orleans. They didn't even advertise it the change. What they did was that they sent a tweet about it. They tweeted about it.
These disrespectful
and then they talked about the tweet the next Monday and Friday. That's it.
Let me quickly get in Triple H's ass real quick because I might want to work with you one day. I don't know. But let me quickly get in your ass too. Pause because I remember.
I know I will not work for Triple H ever because I want to be on that commentary booth and I don't want you to tell me nothing that's going on.
I remember
that's what I
when
want.
There was a beautiful city that me and Diamond are born and raised in that we were supposed to get the first ever 2-night SummerSlam.
Man,
and then you shat on that and gave it to new fucking Jersey?
Straight hoe.
With a lackluster, so that SummerSlam was aight. Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes and Cena did their thing. Mm-hmm. They did their thing.
Yep.
CM Punk Gunther was cool. Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins cash-in was cool. Y'all gave New Jersey the first 2 nights when it was supposed to be us, and then decided to raise our price. Anyway, I'm not even that upset, but I'm gonna land it back and bring it full circle. Yeah, so Ron Killings had the opportunity to really do something really special with this villain era, and then I was watching a couple of SmackDowns ago. I think it was like a month ago maybe, where R-Truth bumped into John Cena, and John was like, "I don't know, are you cool?" He's like, "I'm good, homie. What's up? You back?" And went back to the coon shit. Anyway, I'm gonna let Diamond take it from there with John Cena's lazy ass heel turn.
Just to touch it on R-Truth one more time and try to transition. R-Truth was subsequently fired from the WWE with no notice. They just treated him like as any other spring cut, if you will. They grouped him in a group with Braun Strowman, Cora Jade, a couple other people. They just had him on his way. And the only people that, from what I understood, the only people that were talking about it was everybody with a social media page. But that apparently did enough for Nick Khan specifically to go to Triple H and say, hey, we need to bring this motherfucker back. And I guarantee you, in that conversation, Triple H said, well, I have nothing for R-Truth. What do you want me to do with him? And Nick Khan was like, I don't care. This outrage is getting way too overdone. I'm going to kill it right now. Give that man what he wants. And he got a new contract, and everybody was so happy for him. And when R-Truth came out in that John Cena, and I believe it was CM Punk at Night of Champions, he came out and interfered. No, it was Randy Orton. It was Randy Orton. It was the one before.
It was Randy Orton. Randy
Orton came in. He stopped the Punk hit from happening. Everybody was so happy that R-Truth was back on on the TV show, and I immediately said, R-Truth. I don't know why everybody is so happy with R-Truth, because R-Truth was not part of the plans. And if Triple H does not have you part of his plans, a la LA Knights,
oh, God.
I'm telling you, you are not going to be booked well, if at all. And R-Truth was off TV for the next 2 weeks. He started feuding with Aleister Black the week after that. He got Damian Priest to come in, and now it's all of a sudden it's Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. R-Truth is nowhere to be found in that rivalry. R-Truth is nowhere to be found on SmackDown, period. Not even through the commercials. You can't find R-Truth at all until John Cena comes back, says, I'm sorry, and then that very next week you find R-Truth there.
I hate everything and I hate everybody.
It's almost like they didn't have a fucking plan for this nigga when they re-signed him. It's almost like he was going to be fired after that Saturday night's main event. Well, Saturday night's main event. Yeah, I said it right. But
sorry, no.
Yeah, because I still gotta go to this John Cena heel turn, man, and
that's gonna be a perfect segue for this.
Let's start at Elimination Chamber, because that's where this all started.
Oh, Jesus.
The Rock came out. It was Cody Rhodes. It was The Rock, and they were having this segment right after John Cena won the
No, Travis was there this time.
Yet.
Yeah.
He would come in later. Yeah. But John Cena was in there, in the ring. He just beat CM Punk after Seth Rollins interfered, which that was a great match. I love that. That was
actually really good.
That was really good. John Cena was there. Cody was out there. Rock comes out there. Rock says, I want your soul, Cody. Cody says, fuck you, Rock. John Cena daps Cody up, gives him a long hug, and then that's when the heel turn happens. He just low blows him. Now, that night, I was very satisfied. I know a lot of people on this platform was very satisfied. We were so excited to see what John Cena would do. What did I just talk about? The next 2 weeks, John Cena only talked about the fans and did the same promo every motherfucker that turns heel does. They blame it on the fans. Randy Orton has done this. Big Show has done this. Edge. Chris Jericho has done this. Edge has done this. I can keep going on and on. You see, the word of the day is lazy. You know how lazy that was when John Cena came out that very next week and started pointing at the fans? The fans that were cheering his ass off when he was second in the Royal Rumble? The fans that were cheering their fucking ass off when he was the final two with CM Punk in the Elimination Chamber? Those same fans disrespected him to the point where he had to turn on the biggest babyface at the time, which was Cody Rhodes. He had to turn on them. Why? Because he felt disrespected by those same fans. For 15 years, mind you, but for 15 years, they were literally chanting, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. And that would have been the appropriate time to talk about these fans. But no, he didn't do that. He wanted to talk about the fans. And the worst part of it is, for the next 2 weeks after he made those kids cry over in that international area, he was off TV. Did nothing until WrestleMania. For the second year in a row, Cody Rhodes had to carry a fucking WrestleMania bill by himself.
Jesus.
By himself.
I know his back's tired.
And I know how that went for everybody, because a lot of people didn't like it. But when we got to WrestleMania 41, the match, horrible. And the match was only horrible for me because it was very predictable.
Same.
And it was very boring.
I agree.
John Cena didn't even try to do anything heelish. He had a perfectly fine match with Cody Rhodes for 30 minutes, and then Travis Scott came down, and he hit him with one low blow. Cody Rhodes apparently had a chance to hit him with the title, but he didn't, because he was able to pull the trigger on AJ Styles. He was able to pull the trigger on Kevin Owens. He hit them with title belts and retained titles that way. But for some reason, he couldn't do it to John Cena that one time. And because he couldn't do it to John Cena, we had to suffer through 3 months of John Cena being the WWE Champion. And mind you, he showed up on SmackDown, because WWE Championship is a SmackDown title. He showed up on there maybe 3 or 4 times.
Fuck you, John Cena.
And when John Cena came back and said, I'm sorry to everybody, and everybody was okay with it, I said, okay, so you fucked Randy Orton out of a championship twice. You fucked CM Punk out of a championship twice. You fucked Cody Rhodes out of the championship twice. None of them get their get back because you wanted to come on a random SmackDown and say, hey, I'm sorry, guys.
And could we please get into more depth with that? Because, you know, the heel turn was one thing because I tried to, like, you know, during the past few 6 months, even though I was so, like, annoyed with how the heel turn came about and the laziness of the WrestleMania main event, to be honest, I was always still trying to give this heel turn a chance. Be like, you know what? Maybe John Cena can really turn this around and really make me hate him for real. Like, really step into this shit. Not bullying kids.
Right.
But, what was I gonna say? Shit. What point was I? Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. Sorry. I was really trying hard to like get into this. What pissed me off to no end, outside of that R-Truth shit that I just talked about, was the laziness and quickness. So you just turned face in 15 minutes after 6 months of heel work. What are we doing? That even for 2006 standards, that's wild.
No.
Like, fuck 2025. Like, that's wild in any year you put it. Like, what? In 15 minutes? I'm like, I just didn't want y'all to forget me. Yeah. So, I'm a face again. And in that match at SummerSlam, which was great, by the way. It was fucking
It was a John Cena classic.
It was phenomenal. It was a great match. I love that match. Way better than that's what y'all should have did at WrestleMania. However, it does not excuse that horrible 15 minutes like, I'm back, you guys, and I'm so happy we're tallying this so balanced and so correctly, because this is another topic that I want to get into. Speaking of John Cena and that beautiful SummerSlam match, we have a big beast who is back, and I felt silent. I didn't even get, like, me and Diamond were watching SummerSlam. I think when I heard the music, I jumped up because I was shocked, but it wasn't like I'm geeked shocked. I just like turned to Diamond and I was like, no, they didn't.
No, I said it myself. I was like, is that fucking Brock Lesnar? Are you serious? Is that Brock Lesnar? And I said it. Oh my God, it's Cowboy Brock. Like, nothing happened.
Whoa.
Like, he just took a 2 year sabbatical.
Because I remember it was like a day before SummerSlam, night 2. Maybe so. It was probably night. Yeah, no, it was the day before the whole SummerSlam event. And we just anonymously and mysteriously got this message saying that WWE is hereby canceling all post events, or like the press conference with the journalisms or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. And people were like, "That's interesting." Right. And you know why would you just abruptly cancel that? Because, you know, for better or for worse, people enjoyed it, some people didn't, but it was just very random to just abruptly cancel it. So we were like, "That's interesting." Mm-hmm. And then like 48 hours later, we get boom. Boom, boom, boom. And we're like, that's why you canceled the press conference post-con.
Oh, yeah.
No, WWE don't give a fuck. I think Nick Khan was on record, allegedly, always allegedly on this podcast. Mm-hmm. We are not journalists. But allegedly, I think Nick Khan had a NBC Business interview where he said, like, if Brock's not convicted, I don't give a fuck. Basically, like, it was basically like, if there's not a conviction despite the alleged abuse, it's like it's so yeah. Nick is. I think that as much as we hated Vince, and I still hate Vince, so this is not. Don't get a twist over here. This ain't no Vince hug right now. Mm-hmm. But I think Nick Khan is worse, y'all. I think they found a CEO that gets it out the mud like that. Like, he comes like that. It's like. If it's not a conviction, he don't give a fuck, and I think Nick Khan is a little bit more evil than Vince is, and I don't know why. I don't know if that even matters, but people, speaking of Vince, they said that this Brock return could very well introduce Vince again, but people are like, nah. I already don't want Vince around. Allegedly,
I don't need him around unless he's actually doing something. And
allegedly, Vince is not happy with the product. He's not happy with Triple H's Stephanie's management.
How could he? He's watching Raw and SmackDown every week. He's bothering to watch those shows. That's part of his problem. If you just paid attention to the PLEs, you'll actually think Triple H is not doing half a bad job. Honestly, if I pay attention to just the PLEs, yeah, I think he's doing okay. He's building shit up to the big 4 pay-per-views, and at the big 4 pay-per-views, some shit always happens. And that's exactly what I've been asking from this product for like 15 years. Just make at least a big 4 matter. Just make at least something happen on a B-level pay-per-view.
Don't let Survivor Series just be a glorified Raw.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Which Vince was doing before he actually... Like, honestly, some of those pay-per-views were just, okay, I could have just tuned in on Monday instead of spending $10 on the WWE Network for this bullshit. Like, what the fuck was this?
There you go. Triple H has gotten that down to a T. Thank God he does that right. These weekly shows,
people power
fucking happens. Stop it with that people power bullshit. We're not talking that. Not the time and the place. That's the time of the place.
Sorry. 2016 came to my head, and I just remembered.
People Power was much more interesting than what's happening.
People Power.
What happened on Raw and SmackDown these days?
Oh my god!
People just show people showing up ready to work.
Oh my god!
We gotta have Seth Rollins come out with the vision and talk about something that could have been 5 minutes long. It take 25 minutes long.
We're in hell.
Then we gotta come and eat for 20 minutes because we got a 3-hour show and we have nothing to fill it with. We gotta sing Seth Rollins' theme song for another 15 minutes, even though he's supposed to be the biggest heel on the fucking brand. We gotta have We have to have Dragon Lee matches. We gotta have fucking Chad Gable matches. We can't go 1 week without Grande Americano coming out. Although Chad Gable is now out, he's hurt. He's tore his knee up to shreds.
Poor him.
But it's so boring. Raw is so boring. SmackDown, I don't even think I gotta talk about SmackDown. Do y'all really want me to talk about SmackDown?
What's even happening on SmackDown?
Nothing is happening on SmackDown.
John
Cena don't show up on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes don't show up on SmackDown. Roman Reigns, as far as I know, is still a SmackDown superstar because they never said anything about him going to Raw. But he hasn't showed up on SmackDown in at least a year. Like, what are we...
And that's why I get confused every time they're like, we're about to bring back the WWE draft. I'm like, what draft? There is no real brand. Y'all show up on every fucking Monday.
I feel like I'm exaggerating that year point, but I'm only slightly exaggerating that year point. Roman Reigns don't show up to SmackDown no more. Cody Rhodes don't show up to SmackDown no more. I'm begging for these champions to show up on.
Why is Tiffany still champion?
Because nobody wants her fucking title. That's why. You know how many segments we see just Tiffany Stratton just walking backstage with the title? Just walking around? They showed her doing makeup one time. They just had her showing up doing her makeup one time.
Oh my god.
Back in the old days, that'd be a transition to a commercial. But no, it's a whole segment now.
Maybe this is the first time I ever believed that bald-headed John Coachman when he says that, why am I so mean? I'm too old to be this mean. When Jonathan Coachman said that, because everything Jonathan Coachman says is cap. Mm-hmm. But when he said Triple H is on the way out, and I was like, you're just talking, like. But I don't know. I'm not saying Jonathan Coachman is onto something.
Triple H will never leave that position because they don't have anybody to fill it. Shawn Michaels won't fill it.
It's giving that he doesn't care about that position.
Regal will not fill it.
Oh fuck no.
No, because literally there is no one else that can be both the figurehead and that they can say is part of creative. Yeah. It's a very niche spot that Triple H finds himself in to where the point is he's going to be here until he fucking passes. Because he's just a big enough name to where he can be the ambassador, and they can also have some credibility to the fact that he is the head of creative because he's done this before, and we give him total credit for WrestleMania 40, although that was a Vince storyline because it started with Vince. Cody Rhodes was undefeated for 2.5 years thanks to Vince McMahon. So,
And how great 40 was. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can still get goosebumps with that Roman piano.
I don't give him credit for the bloodline story either. Can't let him do that because that was started in the pandemic. Yeah. And honestly, I give that credit to Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman.
Facts.
That's who I give that credit for. But if we're just talking strictly in the Triple H era, I can't see any storyline that he has made me want to sit down on a week-to-week basis and follow Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or anything like that. None. I always tell myself I'll just wait for the PLE. Something will happen there.
A couple other things I want to talk about before we land the beautiful plane of us returning in 10 years. Mm-hmm. Speaking of 10 years, we've seen some unbelievable returns, and we've talked about Brock Lesnar's unfortunate return. We've talked about Vince McMahon, his exit and departure. We've talked about the state of Netflix and its creative. We talked about the pricing out. We've talked about a lot of things this episode at Heel Rant. But I want to talk about 2 returns that happened in the last decade that we haven't touched on, and they come from the same household. And that's CM Punk and AJ Lee, 2 names that... back in 2014 when this whole shindig was happening. I think that was 2014. Was that 2015? 2016? I don't know. Yeah, 2014 was that 2015. Yeah. CM Punk left in 2014. And then AJ Lee left in 2015. If you told me that CM Punk would return at Survivor Series when he did, I would have called you a fucking two-faced liar. But even more shocking, to be honest with you, to me at least personally, is AJ Lee. Like CM Punk coming back to WWE, even though it was an incredible slim shot, I would have squinted my eyes and said maybe CM Punk could come back in the Netflix era now that it's owned by Nick Khan and TKO whole and a whole different. Yes, Triple H is still the boss creatively, but he doesn't really run shit. If we're being really honest in terms of that level of firing people, Triple H can't fire nobody. I don't give a fuck no one says. Triple H can't fire nobody.
Well, he can make suggestions.
He makes suggestions, but
but
I don't think Triple H can fire nobody. He ain't Vince. He can't fire nobody. Which I think that gives CM Punk. I think CM Punk got the kind of relationship with like Ari and Nick where I think the reason why it works for CM Punk to be back is because I don't think he fears Triple H in any instance. Like he's like, I'm a big money draw, and money is the language around this bitch nowadays. But anyway, I say that to say that AJ Lee coming back was very shocking to me. Very, 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 very shocking. CM Punk for the past 10 years, even though not wrestling, has been active in some way. I know AJ Lee has been active too. She's been shooting movies. She's been very active as well, so I can't say she's not been active. And her body is still fit as hell. Girl, you look great. But yeah, I was very shocked. How did you feel seeing our dear I'm gonna say this last thing. This is so mean, but I just want to get my we tell truths here. AJ Lee is who Nikki Bella thinks she is, and I'm not going to elaborate.
Facts.
I'm not going to elaborate.
I don't think that needs elaboration.
I'm not going to elaborate.
I don't think that needs it.
Kill this pave the way shit, and that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sick of it.
My reaction to AJ Lee is that I'm happy that she wants to be here. I'm happy that she is doing this again for all the people that didn't get to see AJ Lee. Because AJ Lee, I think there is a misconception that AJ Lee should be known for just her in-ring ability, and I feel like that is selling herself short, because I believe AJ Lee got over based on her character work in the storylines that Vince put her in. She thrived in those storylines. She was going around with CM Punk. She was going around with John Cena. She had Kane, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan. Yeah, she was going around. She was discovering herself, as some people would like to say. But her character work was that of a girl that she knew she was doing. Like she was like that femme fatale character. That's what I understood it as, and I liked her a lot for that. But I also recognized that she was the only good thing on that show in terms of women at that point, because women weren't getting anything at that time.
Shit.
Outside of AJ Lee. So, like...
AJ Lee to me...
To understand what AJ Lee's impact on a lot of people is, I don't think it's in the ring. Although she's a great in-ring competitor.
Very great.
I think she's really good. But I think it's a lot to do with everything outside the ring and everything that's happened since she's left in 2015. I think the book she had, I think that turned a lot of people... from being, just being on the fence about AJ Lee to being real hard AJ Lee stands. And if you, come on, man, if you've been on social media the last 5 years, every fucking Royal Rumble, they're saying, when is AJ Lee coming back? When are we going to hear Let's Light It Up? And I didn't know y'all like Let's Light It Up that much. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't have that in the rotation for me, but more power to y'all. But overall, I'm very happy for the new fans. This was I had that same feeling when John Cena said he was going to have his retirement tour. This is going to be y'all. This is going to be y'all Ric Flair retirement tour.
I truly believe AJ Lee, and this is not. I know I'm joking about Nikki and people. But I truly believe that AJ Lee is truly the start of any type of divas women's revolution we have ever had. It was, with all due respect to Nikki and all due respect to Charlotte and all due respect to Becky Lynch and Sasha and all the Four Horsemen and all the amazing talent like Rhea Ripley thereafter and everything that we see right now. But if I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, it began with AJ Lee, because after the horrible absence of Trish Stratus and Mickie James, especially Mickie James was the last of that old women's generation to really go away. And so after Mickie left for TNA and then kind of into retirement itself, the women were hurting bad. And y'all can say what y'all want about Michelle McCool, I don't know why the fuck she got a ring, but I'm not gonna harp on other women to praise other women.
We got time for that. We will have time for that.
But so don't talk to me about Michelle McCool. Don't talk to me about Layla. Don't talk to me about any bullshit that was happening after Mickie James left. It really was that lady in her Converse. When she really was the anti-diva. She came into the same class as the Funkadactyls and Naomi. And I think Naomi was the beginning too, but I think y'all slept on her for a very long time. But we'll have time for Naomi at a different time because I want to give her flowers on an episode and the evolution of her career. But AJ Lee really did come into a class where the women were not given shit. And she was so anti-diva, and she really showed that these women could be brands. And I don't know, like she to me, especially when she won the Divas Championship, and thank God she won the Divas Championship, but it took AJ Lee for us to say, okay, what can the women be? I mean, especially more so because she was a part of very major storylines, and we didn't see that from women at the time at all since Trish Stratus. Like the women had their own storylines, sure, but there was no women a part of major main event storylines until
and no woman was working with John Cena past 2006.
No.
Like,
so when she left, when AJ Lee left, it was a huge void, and then we didn't get that return until Charlotte Flair, to be honest with you. And no, actually, let me not disrespect this other lady because she was actually going to start the revolution until she got injured. I will always give my flowers to Paige. I will always give my flowers to Paige because actually after AJ Lee left, it was Paige.
Right.
But Paige got her career cut way too fucking short. But Paige was really about to run you hoes down, like for real. And Paige is like super popular outside of like I didn't realize how like famous Paige is just as a person. Shout out to Paige. But yeah, I just wanted to end it there. But the last topic I want to talk about, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, but the last topic I want to talk about is that Diamond Hollins went to First Wrestling at Saturday Night Nitro in the Mall of America, Minneapolis, Minnesota, because we have here in Minneapolis this beautiful wrestling company called First Wrestling. It's actually
really awesome, man. They do wrestling good.
It's super awesome, and it's been getting only popular and more popular and more popular over the past, like, I want to say 6 years now. But you went to First Wrestling's Saturday Night Nitro at the Mall of America. First of all, how was it like seeing wrestling in the mall? I never thought of that. Like, is it weird? Like, how does that look like?
Well, if you go to Rotunda, there is the lower floor, the first floor, and that's where all the premium seating is, and that's where all like the drinks and the concessions are. Now, I was on the second floor this time, so I was on the second floor. So basically, what I was doing is I was standing around the edges of the Rotunda, and I was looking down, and I had a great spot. But I got there at like 5:30, so I didn't want to lose my spot. So I stayed there for 5 hours in total watching wrestling. And it's 2, 3, and 4. And the shots that they got with the Rotunda in the background were amazing. Like I still remember this one shot. Mr. Williams, he's the teacher. He's like an evil teacher type dude. That's his gimmick. But Mr. Williams was posing in the middle of the ring, and they had a spotlight on him, and you could see the people in the Rotunda in the background. It was a beautiful shot. Loved it. Overall, I found the show was amazing. It kept my interest the entire time. It was getting a little bit long during the back half of it, but that's because they gave us so much in the front half of it. It was Devon and Ryan Cruz for the heavyweight championship. I think they call it the first WrestlePalooza Grand Championship now.
How long has Devon been champion for?
I think he lost it, but then he got it back. Okay. Because he lost it to Ryan Cruz in this match, and they said the reign was like 300 something days, and I thought it was way longer than that. Damn. But yeah, Ryan Cruz came out. He came out to Creed, so we sang Creed. It was great. I love that match. Fast paced. It was the first time I really saw Devon in a one-on-one match, and I was very happy about that because I believe they booked him very well before that, and then he was like this slippery dude where nobody could actually like get good hits on him, except Ryan Cruz started Step right in, Cruz started hitting him with frog splashes and backbreakers, and he ended the match with a Trouble in Paradise, about all things. So
black people.
That was interesting. And then we had Eric Cannon and Darren Corbin versus No More Violent. That was the second match on the show. I was so stunned they put that shit second, but it was a great tag match. You know, it was the story is that Eric Cannon and Darren Corbin, they've been in a feud for a long time, and I can understand that. They've been long-time enemies. So they had to work together to defeat the team None More Violent, which I learned in the video package that they were showing before the match. None More Violent debuted by attacking both of them at Saturday Night Nitro last year. So this has been a year-long feud in the making. The match ended when a bunch of babyfaces ran in and they started attacking None More Violent, because the way None More Violent was attacking these guys in that year plus was during matches with people like Thunder Frog and Matt Honey. And I remember that shit because it happened at WrestlePalooza in June. I saw that shit live. But Eric Cannon, Derek Corbin end up getting win. Nobody gets kicked out of First Wrestling. The good guys win. It was a very good match. Third match, I believe, was Priscilla Kelly and Shotzi's match. Priscilla Kelly won.
Shotzi's dope.
Yeah, she was awesome. And then they had the Rumble in Rotunda. And this is the one thing I didn't get to film, but Nerd D was in the Rumble, and Nerd D actually won that Rumble, and it was Nerd D and Mr. Williams as the final two.
Shout out to Nerd D for joining wrestling.
Yeah, and Nerd D, I'm so happy because he moved very well, but I noticed like he was wearing Dudley gear. And I think that was very bold for him to wear Dudley gear with him being like 400 pounds. Because every move he had to do, I noticed, bro. He had to pull up his pants every time. I was cracking up. I was worried his pants were going to fly down, bro. I was. And that's just big nigga to big nigga connection right there, bro. I'm sorry, but... I was like, damn, bro, you 400 pounds rocking Dudley gear, man? I hope that shit don't fall off.
I've met some amazing people at First Wrestling. I work at First Avenue, y'all. And I believe First Wrestling was actually started by a former First Avenue employee. Darren Corbin used to work with, still at times works with First Avenue, but he's very much deep into his own business right now. But First Wrestling started because of a First Avenue employee. But I mostly see First Wrestling at my place of work at First Avenue. And I remember when I was coming in to work, I saw two people at one time, but the first person I'm going to talk about was I'm coming into work as a bartender, you know, setting up my bar, getting things ready, and walking down the hall by my bar is Christopher fucking Daniels.
Wow.
And when I tell you, because he had a main event with one of our First Wrestling guys, I forgot who it was, but because there's times First Wrestling hires actual. I shouldn't say actual. That's mean to say actual wrestlers, but you know, like famous,
like really famous wrestlers. They have Eric Rowan on there one time.
Hell yeah!
I told y'all about Priscilla Kelly and Shotzi. They were on there. They had Ultimate Dragon on the show that I went to. So
freak the fuck out. So it's shit like that. And Christopher Daniels, to me, like when I wanted to be a wrestler, like that was the guy, the X Division dude, like him, AJ, Semaj, like it freaked me out to the point where I wanted to meet him so bad, but I was like, Semaj, be professional and be smarter than that.
Right.
This man is trained, like he's like ready for like, but it's Christopher fucking Daniels, another person that I met. She went on to become TNA World Champion. Is Jordan Grace. I still have that picture in my phone when I first met Jordan Grace. She was big then, and she's only gotten bigger.
Right.
So no, I love First Wrestling. First Wrestling, if you ever want to sponsor us, please, we are a wrestling podcast, and
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to talk more about First Wrestling.
I would
First
love
Wrestling is fun to talk about.
It's very fun to talk about. This podcast doesn't always have to be about the mainstream. It could be about the indies. I can't wait to do my due diligence as a wrestling fan and do more research on Matt Cordona and what he's doing over there and his promotion, to do more research on TNA, more research on AEW, more research on New Japan Pro Wrestling, new research on all these promotions Sasha keeps snatching belts from, more promote, you know, like, because wrestling is returning and it's big, and WWE is obviously the top-notch juggernaut, but it's everywhere now. It's everywhere now. Again, even though WWE is going into
WWE is becoming less accessible.
It's very less accessible. But that opens the door up for what's happening right now. I don't know where wrestling's gonna go, But yeah, yeah. I don't have any other thoughts unless you.
No, I've covered everything I wanted to cover. So, what is it? I think WrestlePalooza is this
Saturday.
This Saturday. Yeah,
I work, but I'm gonna try to catch it afterwards.
I work as well.
I don't know if I
probably not
because I don't want to take off work and then spend $30.
There you go. There you go.
Like
they're asking us a
in
lot.
WWE, that's the thing. Like, not only are you asking for more money, but you're asking us to take time away from making the money.
There you go.
So not only do I gotta call into work and not make money that day, but then I gotta give you money that I didn't make. Girl,
no.
come on.
And honestly, for this show, this show is a bigger B-level pay-per-view, but I just have my reservations about this show since we know Perth is a month away and we know Survivor Series is 2.
And respectfully, the only WrestlePalooza I understand
what is really going to happen
is
on
first
this
wrestling
show.
WrestlePalooza. So
you know, I don't feel like I'm missing much with Cena and Lesnar. I don't feel like I'm missing much. I might miss a good match with Io Sky and Vaquer.
Yeah, that's the one I'm like.
I might end up missing that.
But it's crazy to me. Like, I'm very excited for AJ Lee's return, but that's not enough for me to spend $30.
Yeah, I think Cody got a match with somebody.
Drew. That's gonna be good.
Drew. Okay.
That's gonna be good though. That's gonna be. And I like Drew. We'll get to that to another podcast. What a great worker. We'll get to that to another. We don't have the time, but oh my god. But thank you so much for joining us after 10 years of absence.
Yeah, we
it's
love
been a whole
y'all, man.
Decade.
Right?
But we are gonna be here for a minute regardless.
Thanks for keeping them subscriptions up, man.
Subscriptions up. So
appreciate y'all.
We'll see you on the next episode, whenever that is. But we promise it won't be 10 years from now.
There you go.
See you guys later. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in.
Take care.